Presenting a skit of comedy!
I hope.
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here from Team Virtual Tamers. Virtual Tamers on YouTube, I'm not sure, and it should just be Virtual Tamer because there's just one of me today. My partner and Zao, we haven't put up a video in a while, and with the ban list announcement coming in the next week or so, I thought it'd be a good time to go over some decks that may have some stuff removed from them. Now, I know there's a lot of people talking about removing Shoutmon from BT-10 because of his rush ability. I don't think that's the goal. I don't think, Bandai will do that. Fingers crossed, Bandai, if you do that, it's a mistake. But I thought I'd go over my deck list, the one I'm running this format that I've had the most success with, and the one I like the most. So we'll start off, as all, deck profiles do with their eggs. We're running, of course, 4 Pikmons. It's the only egg you run. There's no other reason to run any other eggs. Next, onto some level 3s. Sparrowmon. Sparrowmon has turned into one of those really important eggs for other decks, especially those Mervamon decks. Sparrowmon here is just once again a level 3 that gives us reboot. That's what we're looking for. And sometimes that 5k boost that he gets from having the 5k that he gets from having the plus 3k boost really pays off and get him over some boards and holding him off over some games. So I think I've seen a couple decks. I think someone in the Nationals deck list cut this. I don't think you want to cut it. I like Sparrowmon in my builds. That's the way I'm running with it. Next, the man of the hour that some people believe should be banned because of Rush apparently is just too good of an ability is Shoutmon. Of course, he has save like most of our Xross stuff. On play, we get to reveal the top 3, add a card with the Xross trait in it. I find myself not too often using his search ability, usually because the deck either wins or loses off the fact if you have Shoutmon in this Rush ability. So, to me, he's one of those you want to keep around as long as you have a Tamer. You can save under. Those Black War Greymon matchups, really can change things up on how you play him. But I find, it sits in my hand till I really need to use him. Maybe not be the way other people play. His search ability can be good, but I find he's best if you can use him to rush. Next, we're running 4 Starmons. Because we have to. He draws us cards as inheritable. Starmons is good. Him and Sparrowmon go in the back all day. This is what we're evolving our eggs under, and we are using them to draw us cards from those Pikmons. Next, Ballistamon. Most Xross decks are going to be the same, right? You're looking at this deck list and you're saying, wow, Tyler, you're running exactly everything every other Xross deck runs? Yeah, no shit. It is an archetype. There are different levels, different builds that can happen, but for here, we got the Ballistamons for this one. Of course, he's going to have blockers as long as we have an Xross on the field. Guess what? We always hopefully have Xrosses on the field. And that inheritable piercing, which will come up in a lot of your games in the current meta. Darulamon. This is one of your best removal spells for those pesky floodgates. Things like Psychemon are going to, hinder this deck a lot. We have the new Chikiri, Solarmon. They're definitely going to make it harder to play if people are running them. Merva Loop is kind of picking up a little bit, especially with if you're playing in the Ultimate Cup. Of course, this will not be playable in the Ultimate Cup because it has more than one color. But it helps you can play these off your Yellow Tamer, get some deletion on top of, sometimes, man, that negative 2k insecurity, you can sit around on an X3 for way too long, make it through some other turns because pops and lowers some securities. So, Darulamon's in there for sure. A new inclusion that I have found a lot of success with. Some people are running these in higher numbers. I really like just running the one of, and that's Shoutmon Star Sword. I think the best thing is this guy does go 0 in a level 3. So there's those matches where you really want to draw one extra card. Like you're looking for a piece for, you need that extra cross piece that you don't have saved, like your Sparrowmon, or you're missing like the Rush Shoutmon right here. Boom. Sometimes you can hit him for 0. And you get to just maybe see a card. His on play, of course, is really good. It gives a Digimon negative 3k. And then if you Digicross Digicross with 2 cards, he deletes something that's 2k or less. You can get rid of some pesky 5ks. Once again, it's another great option to, besides the Darulamon, to remove those floodgates. He's also treated as a Shoutmon or Starmon. So guess what? Another free extra piece for the deck to help those other crossing Digimon that you're going to need in here. Next, a very divisive pick, I'm sure. A lot of cross players either play this card or think it's complete garbage. Shoutmon King. I'm a big fan of Shoutmon King. One, it's a rush for 3, as long as you have your BT-5 Shoutmon, so I guess, or BT-10, so I guess, yeah, there you go. There's your reason to ban him, to make Shout King too good. But besides that, he's just really good at recycling some of those crossers from trash that you lost. I find a lot in my Black or Gray matchups, if I hold on to this guy for a little bit longer, then that's what probably seems good. If they hit a Hades Force and it just blows me out of the game because maybe I only found one of my rushing Shoutmon, this at least helps me put him back in hand and just helps me plow through the game a little bit. It helps me rebuild back up before I just get trounced over by rebooting, security stack removing Black or Gray Mons. The banned card, Shout 4. I mean, Shout 4, I don't want you to say. This card should be banned. It's a good thing it's banned. I think it's way too good. Probably should never have been printed. It should just come out. I mean, it basically come out at 1. But I think if this Shout 4 was currently at 4 in this meta, we would be done. It would be over. This would be the best deck. He just makes this deck run too smooth. It's a good thing it's gone, personally. Well, not gone at 1. Next, another new inclusion. This card I have really, really just loved. X3. Shoutmon Ballista Dorilla to cross it. You get 2 per, so you can play this for 1. On play, reveal 3, get you 2. It is great. Also, at start of turn, talking about the Dorilla reducing our opponent's security by 2k. This card sometimes will stick around. Your opponent won't hit it because you have 2 sources. You blow it up, gain a memory. I will say personally, I have lost a game and probably won some games off the fact that I forget that its first ability is on the board. There's some important and crucial moments I could have used it, but I don't think about. So it's definitely one of those I'm glad we have now for the archetype. I think this really helps the archetype, especially the version I'm running, the X7 builds, because it gives you a little more searching, a little more tools to find the things you need, compared to like the lower to the ground rush variants of this deck. But I'm a big fan of Shout 3. I think if you're not running it at 4, while you playing the deck, it is probably the better of the crossers with X4 being gone. Next up, we're just running 2 of X5. I think X5 has lost a lot of its luster this format. I know Russell on the channel has said this is the worst thing he hates dealing with in this matchup. I don't think it's as bad. Of course, I'm on this end of it, not that end. But I find that it's typically good, but not completely back-breaking. The blocker kind of comes up. I think more often it's using this to get that extra security check and hoping it dies on that second one. So maybe you can come in with another, use your material to play something else. But we're playing it at 2. I think 2 is enough. Some days I even question if we want to go down to 1, but I think right now still I'm going to stick at 2. Level 5s. We are running just 2, and they are the Omni Shoutmons. So, as I said a minute ago, we are playing that X7 build. This is going to be required for that X7 build. This card also is really good, besides just the fact that it's used as cross material in your X7. First off, that delete ability has a Wind Digivolving. You can delete a Digimon with 4,000 or less. If you have Shoutmon in its name, you get to do 2 or less. I've used it very minimal. That Wind Digivolving just doesn't happen much. But what I do find is, since it's treated as a Shoutmon, there are sometimes we want to use it as, Shout 3 material. Sometimes you put it under Shout 4. If you're playing the long game, you just need to search, draw some cards. Because, once again, the fact that we can save that material from our material saves on these allows us to then place it back under for that X7 later. Now, this card is the complete opposite. And it needs to be Wind Digivolve more than it should. It's one of those I forget. And it's also one of the benefits to running, I guess, more than 1 or 2, or more than 1 of the X5s. And that's Zeke Greymon. This thing has 1 more games, probably in this build, than a lot of other things. Just because of the fact of the Wind Digivolving, you get to unsuspend. If you have that Cross Heart in its traits, you gain 2 memory. So you put this on an X5 for 1, unsuspend, hit them for game. If that X5 survives and they have 2 checks, it is very, very good. It is one of those I forget to use all the time, and it drives me nuts, because then I'll get done with the game, we'll lose whatever the case may be, and I'll sit here and stare and I go, I had that Z Greymon All I had to do was play that Z-Greymon. And once again, it's also going to be material for our Cross 7. On top of that, giving our Cross 7 blocker. And speaking of Cross 7, we're playing 3 Cross 7s. I was on 2 for a while. And after testing and changing up some things, I decided I wanted the 3. I want to see it. Because especially in the Black War Gray matchup, the Old Force matchup, I find it pretty useful sometimes. You want to really just be able to get to it and use it. Because in most of those matchups, if you can get this down, remove some stuff, the game is yours. In Black War Gray, if you can have all the pieces, it's 16k. That can stymie some Black War Gray builds, depending on how they built their stacks, somehow it comes through. So, X3, or X7 at 3, I think is the number I like. Probably another controversial pick here. I don't see it in too many deck builds from what I see. We're playing the 1 of Mervamon. I find this card is probably the card I find closest to cutting. It's good. I don't think you can deny that Mervamon's good. The thing I have with it, though, is sometimes it's very hard to play and be useful. You know, you may play it, and if you pass the turn, then you're kind of done. This build, we're not running the crazy options. So we're not running, 4 Blinding Arrays, 4 Gravity Crushes. We are just on this. And I think there's some matchups where you, especially in like the Black War Greymon matchup, where they may give you way too much and you can really benefit off this. But as a defensive tool, sometimes it can be lackluster, especially in that Old Force matchup, just because one of our teammates play it. I find I use this to try to save myself, and then you kind of, if you don't have like 2 Ballistamons in trash, and you're really not being able to 100% just lock yourself up for safety for a little while, if that's like your last-ditch effort. But I still find it's a good card. There is definitely matchups you're going to want it, and then there's going to be you may cut it, and there'll be matchups you're like, crap, I wish I had it, and I'm sure there's going to be matchups where you have it, and you really wouldn't like it. So far I'm still at 1, and I think I'll probably keep it the rest of the format until something sways me and makes me hate it. Tamers, pre-standard package. For Mikey. Mikey searches, Mikey picks up pieces, Mikey lets us cross. You gotta have 4 Mikeys. Zanjiro at 3. Plays Ballistamons. I will also say there were mini games. I have 1 from Zanjiro playing, Zanjiro out of security playing me a Ballistamon just to keep me alive. So, I think at 3 is a good number. I probably wouldn't go below that. I really wouldn't want to go above that. He's really good at facilitating memory in this deck too, but as somebody who plays, if you play this deck a lot, and you play a lot of games with it, you kind of learn that you can do a lot with a little memory. So Zanjiro can extend when you need it, but typically he's really great for this playing those ballistas and getting you just a little extra bump when you need it. Akari, draws you cards. Card draw is important. You need pieces. You keep drawing cards, you get that. Also, play Akari, play Derulo, kill a Floodgate. Answers a lot of your problems. Last card in the deck. Brand new piece. Taiki Kiri Hanene. This is a card I thought was trash for a while. When I first built my build, I was stared at it and I said, this card ain't good. This card's very mid, as the kids say. But the more and more I played the games, I realized why this is so good. If you've played Magic, you know there's this little ability called Cycling, which is you pay a cost, you discard a card. Then that card has this ability because you paid it. You draw a card, right? In Magic the Gathering, drawing cards is more important than Digimon. Because in Digimon you can draw a lot. In this Xross deck, material, and having said material and having pieces to go into, is the most important thing. Well, guess what gives you memory on top of saving a piece of material and hopefully finding another piece of material? It's 3 of these. So I think it's very beneficial, especially with this X7 build, and the way it runs, that this card at 3 is really just where you want to be at. I know some people playing the Blue Flare Tamer. I don't think he is. You really want to be in here with him. I think just 3 of this. It gives you the same ability as Mikey to let you use your materials from your Tamers as for your crossing, on top of the fact that, man, the amount of times I've just had 2 of these on the field, went Z under 1, Omni under 1, draw 2 cards, cool play X7 for next to nothing, destroy you. It's been a ton so far in testing. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stick. So that's my deck list. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Put up a couple more. I think we're going to start doing more deck list videos too, on top of our gameplay videos that we're going to get back to now that we're through some funk at the beginning of the year. There are many of you here, so welcome all, and please like, subscribe, comment on the video with your ideas that you like for your cross builds. Are you playing the Merva build? Are you playing the lower to the ground, straight cross 3, cross 5 builds? Let me know, and until next time, stay virtual.